Homemade irresistible crispy chicken nuggets. What makes these so special? They're crispy on the outside, coated in perfectly seasoned flour, and tender and juicy on the inside. They're incredibly easy to make, and you don't need a lot of fancy ingredients. So whether you're feeding a game day crowd or have a picky eater or two at home, these budget-friendly nuggets are sure to become a favorite as they taste better than any frozen store-bought ones. Hi, I'm Minnie from This and That Minis. I'm so glad you're here. Hit that subscribe button and let's get started. All right, to get started on our chicken nuggets, get a gallon-sized Ziploc bag and put a half a cup of cornstarch in there and set that aside. And then we're going to slice up a chicken breast. More if you have a larger family, but you're going to be surprised how many nuggets you get out of one breast. If it's thick like this, I like to just slice it right down the middle. Get 2 halves out of that. This is still partially frozen. I find they slice a lot easier. There we go. And then you can cut nugget size. Of course, you can leave them just like this, and they can be chicken tender size. Tonight we're making nuggets, so about 1-inch cubes here. You can also use thighs here if that's what you prefer. And this is how many I got out of just one chicken breast. Place those in your Ziploc bag with cornstarch. Seal that up. Sometimes they don't always want to go. I believe that is sealed now. And just shake them all about till you're certain every piece is coated. We're just going to pop that back in the fridge until we're ready for it. Get a good amount of cooking oil to heaten up in a good sized skillet. I'm just using vegetable oil here. I filled that about 1.5 to 2 inches full, and we're going to heat that to 350 degrees. Now to get our breading ready, you're going to need a cup of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of onion powder, and then here we have a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. That cayenne pepper does not make this spicy. It just makes for a well-rounded seasoning blend. Just give those a whisk. Set that aside for now. In another dish, place an egg and a 1/2 cup of milk, making sure that's ice cold. We'll whisk that up good. Scooch those over, make room for your chicken, and bring your chicken out of the fridge. Using some tongs, place a couple chunks of chicken at a time in your dry mixture. I guess we can just leave those right here. and make sure they're well coated. There we go. Now into our egg mixture. Egg wash is what they call that. Okay, we got all the chicken out of there. And now just coat these well. Gently but well. There we go. And now back into that flour mixture. And this is, well, we're going to want to make sure these are really good and coated, because this is where the crispiness comes from, is that second dunking in there. I'm going to check on that oil real quick, see if it's ready. Sure looks like it is. Let's go over there. Shake off your chicken and place gently in that hot oil. You're going to let these cook for a good 4 or 5 minutes, turning if you need to. Don't overcrowd the pan. Adjust the time down to about 3 minutes for those smaller pieces. That's all for the first batch. Give it a stir after a few minutes. Get a paper towel lined dish ready. Once it's been 4 to 5 minutes and the chicken is golden brown, gently begin removing it. And start placing those nuggets on there. Check for doneness by cutting open the biggest one. I gotta give these a try. Oh, those have the perfect amount of crunch to them, and that spice blend just can't be beat. So get out your favorite dipping sauce and enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions or suggestions. I'd really love to hear from you. Hit that subscribe button and watch these videos next.